Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you are new here. I am your host, Davin James. Glad to be here with all of you guys here today. If you don't mind, if you are new here, or if you're just a regular here, please remember to like, subscribe and comment, helps a bunch and it really shows your support. For today's episode, which you are about to see, I'm talking about news surrounding the future X-Men movie, which as of yet does not have a release date, but we do know it has a writer attached to it, by the name of Michael Lesslie. Somebody who I'm not really familiar with in terms of his name. I might have known some of his work from the past without realising it. From what I've seen online, I've seen a lot of positive feedback surrounding this announcement about him being attached as the writer for the future X-Men movie. But with that being said, let's get on with today's episode, shall we? Marvel Studios' X-Men movie is gaining momentum as the project lands a writer. Michael Lesslie, who is known for his work on the series Little Drummer Girl and a recent prequel feature The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, is in talks to pen the film focused on Marvel Comics' iconic mutant team, The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed. So I don't know anything about Michael Lesslie. I know of the Hunger Games prequel movie, I've not seen it so I can't give an opinion. I've never heard of the Little Drummer Girl. But if you have any thoughts down below that you want to share given this gentleman's work, then please share them down below. If you have any recommendations about this gentleman's work, projects he might have written in the past, then please also write them down below. The movie does not currently have a release date or a director attached. X-Men remains a popular property for Disney, following the recent success of the well-reviewed Disney animated series X-Men 97. This show is a reboot of the fondly remembered X-Men the animated series, which launched in 1992. I wouldn't say you need to watch the animated series, the original one that is, to be caught up with X-Men 97. I think it does a good job on its own, telling the story that it wants to tell, while having you feel like you're missing out on a bunch of previous, episodes of the previous show or whatever. I think you could go in blind and feel comfortable enough with the story that they are telling without having to rely on the other animated series in a sense. And you do some that's just my opinion, you might feel differently, so, let me know down below. The team made its comics debut in 1963 from creators Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. His first feature film arrived in 2000 with 20th Century Fox's X-Men from director Bryan Singer. Two sequels followed, with the team getting rebooted for 2011 prequel film X-Men First Class from director Matthew Vaughn. The rebooted iteration got 3 sequels, with the most recent being 2019's Dark Phoenix. X-Men are one of the characters that were available to make their long-awaited debut in the MCU due to Disney buying Fox. Also on our list is fellow Marvel team Fantastic Four, with the studio set to release a new movie July 25th, 2025, featuring stars Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebon Moss Barachaud? Barachaud? I don't know how you pronounce his second name, so I do apologise. Hugh Jackman, who originated his role of the X-Men mainstay Wolverine in the 2000 film, returns as the character Wolverine alongside Ryan Reynolds in the Marvel's Deadpool and Wolverine, which will be taking place inside the MCU, which is really cool as well, will be hitting cinemas July 26. Jackman has also played Wolverine in a trio of standalone films that culminated with 2017's much-loved Logan from director James Mangold. Deadline was the first to report the news of Leslie's involvement. So one of the other opinions I've seen on this project, apart from Michael Lesslie being the writer for this project, is that people are being a little bit frustrated or annoyed at the fact that Marvel has taken so long to get the X-Men movie off the ground. So for example, Disney bought Fox back in 2019, and ever since then we've not even had any official update on the X-Men movies, or any planned future X-Men movies for the most part. Like no release date, no director, no stars attached, nothing. Apart from now, where we get confirmation that we got a writer attached to the project. One of the reasons why I think that is because one, in 2019, Avengers Endgame came out, and that was Marvel's biggest hit right there. And after that came the pandemic, which screwed everything up for the most part. Everything was shut down. Nobody knew what the hell they were doing for the most part. And I think that caused a lot of delays and, a lot of things moved around in a sense. But also, Kevin Feige himself, who's the overhead of the MCU, is a very big X-Men fan. In fact, he actually worked on the original X-Men movie back in 2000. He was a assistant producer or something like that, I think he was. I can't remember the official title. But there's a picture of him on set of the original X-Men movie way back in the day. And he actually had hair back then as well, which is crazy. So this guy is a very big X-Men fan. And in fact, during the original X-Men movie, the director Bryan Singer did not want comic books on set. They were completely banned from set for whatever reason. But Kevin Feige himself used to sneak comic books into actors' trailers for them to read and get an idea about the character and the representation of the characters they were playing and whatnot. It might be just for Hugh Jackman and Wolverine, I'm not sure. But he did that behind the director's back, so good on him. But it goes to show you that he really cares about the material that gets given to the fans. Not everything has been a slam dunk. Not everything in the MCU has been a hit. But he really does care about the MCU as a whole and some of the properties that it develops, especially with the X-Men and Fantastic Four, because they hold a very close personal connection to him. I'm glad that they're taking the time producing this project. I don't want them to rush into anything, especially when you don't have a director attached, you don't have any actors attached. The last thing I want is for them to give a release date to where we're now okay, so now we've got a release date, but yet we don't have a director and we don't have anyone attached to star in the project. That's going to create all kinds of messiness, which we've seen in the past, and that's when the MCU is not at its best. We'll put it that way. That's when the MCU can be pretty much in shambles for the most part. If I had to guess, I'd probably say we won't be seeing the X-Men franchise until probably after Secret Wars. Avengers Secret Wars, which I believe will come out 2026, 2027, one of the two. So sometime after that is when we will see the new lineup of the X-Men characters and the X-Men franchise itself. I could be wrong on that, that's just pure speculation on my part. But at the top of my head, that seems like a realistic approach, in my opinion. Don't forget this. The X-Men movies, although they are very popular, the Fox, Marvel X-Men movies, although they are very popular for the most part, some of those movies were really big stinkers as well. X-Men movies. The last one was 2019, which isn't that long ago if you think about it, and that was a critical and also box office failure. Apart from First Class and Days of Futures Past, not everyone was on board with the X-Men reboot, and even with the Bryan Singer movies, not everyone was on board with those movies either. Movies are a mixed bag, if you will. Some love them, some hate them, some have mixed feelings over them. So I think Kevin Feige is smart to let these movies breathe a little bit. We've had X-Men movies a lot over the years. Let them breathe. Let them have some time away from the spotlight. Focus on other projects such as the X-Men 97 series, which was a beloved X-Men series, and people are absolutely buzzing over that series. Focus more on that, and that way then we can see whether or not there's any room for the X-Men in the near future. We'll see what the reactions are to this series, and then we could go from there. And as you can see right now, people are loving this series, even though it just finished, but people are still loving it, people still want more. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I trust Kevin Feige. I trust his process, and good or bad, I'm still an MCU fan. But what say you? Are you excited for future X-Men movies? Are you excited about this decision of Michael Lesslie being attached as the writer for these movies? Who would you like to see star in the future X-Men movies? What's your thoughts on the animated series? Overall, let me know your thoughts down below. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye for now.